This is Modern Warfare 3 Rank Play, a competitive multiplayer mode where players compete against each other in a rank system by gaining SR in order to climb into a higher division. Each division represents a different skill level and has unique rewards. The real question is, how does SR really work, and how can you increase your SR value more efficiently? Well, in this video I am going to explain two basic factors you need to know that affect your SR in rank play, while at the same time giving you in-game examples so that you can have a better understanding of what's going on, as well as tips and tricks on how you can rank up faster. It is important to understand that some factors contribute more than others to your overall skill rating, and by knowing them, you can predict overall how much you are going to earn or lose. I have also added timestamps so that you can skip to certain parts of this video, with factor 2 being the most important one. Without further delay, let's go. Starting off with the basics, the way the game determines your skill level is through a system called skill rating, or SR in short. And this is basically a number that increases or decreases depending on whether you are winning or losing games. The higher the total SR number, the higher your skill division, and vice versa. However, the amount of SR you get when winning depends on two factors: a hidden factor called the hidden performance range, or HPR, and your overall team performance. I created this flowchart, which is basically a summary of this video in order to have a better understanding of what's going on. Firstly, we are going to discuss the two conditions affecting the HPR, starting with the individual performance. Now, the way that you can understand things, think about an AI codcaster which is monitoring your performance on every game and draws a general conclusion about how good you actually are and what division you deserve to be. This is based on everything, so kills, scores, capture, heal time, plans, diffuses, KD ratio, score per minute, basically anything that has to do with your performance. Once all this is calculated, then the game gives you a hidden rank which is different than your actual SR rank. Let's do an example on this so you can visualize what's going on. Assume your HPR or hidden rank is 7500 SR based on your performances. This is equivalent to being in the Crimson division. If your current SR is, let's say, 2100, then this means that you're obviously in the Gold division, but most importantly is that winning games will guarantee you more SR points because the game thinks that you should be in a higher division. So the further your actual SR is below your HPR target, the more SR you gain after each win. And this is the main reason why you're getting 170 to 200 SR when you are in the Bronze division. On top of that, in lower divisions, the developers have announced that they put a premium on a personal performance to try and graduate better players out of the starting divisions quickly. In simpler terms, they have added a multiplier effect which allows you to earn close to the maximum SR available so that you can rank up quickly. As far as I'm aware, the maximum SR you can get in Modern Warfare 3 rank play is 200. Therefore, as you start to catch up with your HPR, the amount of SR you will earn from wins will start to slow and level off. And this is a point where most of you start wondering, why am I getting so many less points? Moving on to condition number 2, which is going to be how good you play against players with a higher HPR than yours. According to the developers, beat players with a higher HPR than yours and your HPR goes up, lose against players with a higher HPR and your HPR goes down. Time for an example. Let's assume you're in the Diamond division and you're constantly winning your matches against Platinums, but you lose against Crimsons and Iridescents, which are the higher divisions. Based on this data, the system can understand that you're struggling against higher divisions or higher skill opponents, and as a result, your HPR narrows down to the Diamond rank, making it difficult to increase it in the future. Keep in mind, this does not always have to do with division. And what I mean by this is that sometimes it is very important to check the rank of your opponents, not the division. For example, player 1 with a rank 30 Crimson has much less HPR than player 2 with a rank 15 Crimson because player 1 has played more games to reach that division and player 2 has played less. Therefore, the average SR gain by player 1 per game is much less than player 2, leading to a completely different HPR even though the skill divisions are the same. When your actual SR reaches your HPR, then you need to focus on team performances in order to rank up faster. Now, having said all this, let's move to factor number 2, which is going to be team performance. Apart from the individual performances, the SR is also affected by how well you play as a team, especially in higher divisions. Team performance is calculated by the final scoreline of each game mode. For example, if your team wins a hardpoint match 250 to 100, or an S&D 6 to 1, or a control 3 to 0, then this can be described as a dominant performance leading to more SR. The same happens vice versa. If you lose by a large amount in the scoreline, you lose even more SR. However, if your team wins a close match, let's say 250 to 200, or 6-5 in S&D, or 3-2 in control, then you will receive much less SR. Now, here's where most people are getting confused. Out of the two conditions that affect USR, the team performance has the highest weight, which means if you want to increase your SR as you climb up and get closer to your HPR, you need to focus more on the team performance, which is winning games by a large difference in the scoreline instead of the personal performance. It is like a university or college course. Giving more emphasis to a high credit course or a course that weighs more will result to a higher mark overall. The same happens here with the skill rating. This is why you might end up in situations where you're top of the leaderboard with, let's say, 40 kills against good opponents. Your SR is already close to your HPR range. The game ends 250 to 220, and as a result, this leads to a smaller SR gain per game. And to prove this, here are some examples. Now, in this case, unfortunately, there is a glitch in the game right now and you can't actually see how much SR you're getting. I believe this is only for the PC. So I'm gonna do this example based on defeats. First of all, we have our criteria on the left hand side, and for this game I ended up last in the leaderboard against opponents which have most likely less HPR according to their ranks and divisions, but the scoreline was close. So if I go on our criteria, we have the individual performance drops, the performance against opposition drops because we lost, so the HPR drops, the HPR factor drops, but the overall team performance, which has the higher weight out of all these conditions, goes up. And that is why I lost 13 SR, which in this case is a small amount. However, for the next game, I ended up last, so individual performance was bad. We also lost 3-0 in control, which leads to a bad team performance. Therefore, in this case, I am losing the maximum amount of SR, which is 30. The same idea goes for winning, so my advice to all of you guys, especially to those who are playing solo, try and get your kills and score to reach on top of the leaderboard, but at the same time, especially if you are in higher divisions, try to dominate the game to play the objective even more. Even if you know that you are going to lose because, let's say, you are playing against a force track, try and win at least a control round or getting the hardpoint kill, or at least 3 S&D rounds, because this will not affect your SR as much and you will not lose many points. So to summarize everything, guys, apart from your SR, which is your actual ranking, we have the hidden performance range, or HPR, which is a hidden rank implemented by the game. The higher the HPR, the more SR you will receive, especially on lower ranks, until you reach it. The HPR depends on two conditions: the individual performance and the performance against players with higher or lower HPR. SR is also affected by another factor apart from the HPR, which is the team performances in higher division, with the important part being the fact that team performances weigh the most. So knowing these two factors can help you set up and improve your HPR value as well as rank up faster. So that's all for me, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I am more than happy to answer them. This is Shadowiiy, and as always, take care.